The Secret of Italy Day 3. We were up nice and early this morning to get down to the Trevi Fountain before sunrise and before the crowds of people, because after the Vatican yesterday, we wanted a crowd-free experience, and this is exactly what we got. We got there just before 7 a.m, but keep in mind this is winter, so I imagine it'll be way busier in the summer, even earlier. We had a little coffee and croissant nearby. The cafe even had a line out the front, and then we trotted around the city because it was still early, so not much was open. We went to the Spanish Steps. Being from the Gold Coast myself, this area looked very familiar to me because Emerald Lakes is an exact dupe of this area. Obviously, it does not compare to the real thing. Nearby to this area is every designer shop that you could imagine, so we did some nice window shopping because that is not in our budget. And then we stopped by the Pantheon. We didn't go inside, but there was a long line to go in. By this point, we were quite peckaged, so we headed over to the Testaccio Market. Kind of like a street food situation. You can get lots of different little things, but once I spotted the porchetta, I was done for. That was all I needed, and it was the best thing that I've eaten so far. But we couldn't end the meal without some dessert. Had a sour cherry slice tart with the thickest hot chocolate ever. And then we came out and it was finally sunny. We were recharging, ready to keep going. However, I did see a cheap shop, so I stopped in to get some gloves, and that has been the biggest blessing because my fingers were literally frozen earlier this morning. Then we made our way back to have an afternoon siesta. That has been a staple this trip so far. After a brief decompress and warm up, we headed over to Rigoli. They have some gorgeous baked goods, and I just had my eyes on these strawberry and cream tarts. The lady in front of me bought the last one, but there was a slightly bigger one, and I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. So I got that. Throughout the journey to the bakery, we found this hidden gem. It was a church, and everybody was perched up on the steps in the sun, and we needed to join. We sat there for hours until the clouds finally came back over before heading to Pasta Imperial for dinner. It was absolutely delicious and so cheap. Ended the night with some vintage shopping, and this coat is the loss of my life. I can't believe it didn't fit. See you tomorrow.